Welcome to Neon Static. I'm Eric Hayden, and I'm joined by Sunny. Hey, Sunny.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for joining me. Sunny and I are
Of
here to
course.
talk about now stale meta. I've been delinquent on publishing these games, but this is from, there we go. This is from May 21st in Boston. This was a standard CO. And this is actually me on the left side of the screen again. Playing not my deck, but the net deck Adam on the I Bonhar list that I ran for this event, up against Ben, who's on the Laura Azmari Azmari deck. And I have a little PTSD from this match. It's going to be slightly embarrassing for me because, spoiler alert, I will be reintroduced to hard-hitting news in this matchup.
I was gonna say it's in this meta. It's hard to forget about hard-hitting news.
Yeah, well, it's right because it's all gone, and I'm fine with that. But yeah, hard-hitting news will definitely be making an appearance in this matchup.
There we go.
So
definitely a very dominant card from the last meta that we had.
yeah, absolutely, and the Azmari deck had a way of forcing you into this situation where you were going to face it, because they would put things like Bolognas and artificial crypto crashes on the board, and then say either steal these, and especially if it's a Bologna, steal this, pay 5, go broke, and then either face an economic warfare followed up by, or two, followed up by hard-hitting news, ending up, their turn ends, you have 4 tags, and then shortly thereafter, as soon as they can find it, you'll be greeted by a missile through the window in the form of boom. So,
Yeah, just an absolutely nasty combo of cards to take your economy before you even have a chance to do anything with it. It feels like.
That's right. And Ben here starting the game off very quickly with install, ice on HQ and a remote, and then something in there. This list is the Bonhar list that I'm running on the left. So that's a RNG key that I've dropped, mostly because it's 0. You can see jailbreak in my hand. Me forgetting triggers that I have to reveal all the cards that I draw because I am running, neutralize all threats that makes you do that? Nope.
No, it's find the truth.
Find the truth, that one.
Yeah, I will name 2, and I will also draw a card from this.
Access that.
Find the truth, indeed. Thank you. Sorry, the directive that Adam starts installed with, well, the 3 that I have here. Find the truth, neutralize all threats, and safety first.
Yeah, easy to forget.
There's a steal of an artificial crypto crash.
Right off the top of R&D.
I believe so.
Okay. All right, and that's a good snipe as well, especially since you don't really want that scored, because in a turn you can see your entire econ just evaporate.
Right. So, I mean, one of the basic principles of playing against this Az deck that I am ignorant of at this point is that I really should be kind of chilling back for a little bit, and gaining up at least some sort of economic foundation, but I don't have that, and nor did I have that knowledge here. So, drawing into a dream at the end of my turn.
No, it's kind of a strange play pattern because you want to run, you want to interact with the corpse side, see what they have going on, but spending a few turns trying to focus on getting your economy set up, it feels like you could be outpaced.
Yeah, it does. It seems scary. And one of the things that Adam does so well is go fast. So it's a little bit at odds to hang back with this deck. So there's a Rashida going off for Ben and a hedge fund.
Ooh. Got credits for days.
Credits and cards. Naming that card on the left, if you're not familiar, is a count siphon, and that is just there for Ben to for his Azmari ability. He's indicating which card that he is named. In this case, event.
That I was wondering what the cards on the side were there for, because I was about to say I haven't seen a count siphon in years.
Yeah, right. It just means the last card I named was event, and 99% of the time for these Azmari decks, they're just going to sit on event the entire time.
Especially because you have so many runner decks that are event dominant. Like Esta, very popular, tons of events.
I mean, everyone wants to play an event, and they all kind of need to do it eventually. So if you stay on event the whole time, you're going to get your 2 credits off of Azmari. So there's a Bonhar going down, and me drawing into and revealing another Bonhar. I think this is either third click or draw again. That's a hedge fund. And my hand size is 5 because I have a brain chip installed, and brain chip increases your hand size and your MU by the number of agenda points that you have stolen.
Which is nice since Adam only starts with 3, but you're able to draw up and put one of your bin breakers out into your heap,
right,
for whatever you might run into next.
Right. Ideally, you get to, I have at least an MK Ultra out there.
Okay, now there we go. Now we see an agenda on the board threatening for you to interact.
Right. I don't think that there are any kind of traps here in this Laura Azmari list. My Banhar, I'm using the Fen Fatale token there to indicate Banhar on that server. I'm drawing a Mad Dash.
Oh, get the event trigger.
Yep. I'm also unlikely to have played well into Azmari, where I, ideally you kind of bunch your events up into a single turn if you can. And I think...
Yeah, I think that's ideal because it's only after the first occurrence of playing the card that they've selected. So you got the dirty laundry there. There you go.
Right. So I'm at least getting 2 events worth of value here, but I'm not sure at this point in my playing if I was even aware of that. It may have just been lucky happenstance.
I will res Enigma.
Been resing an Enigma.
Okay. So 2 net damage fires.
Nice full art version.
Art's gorgeous on there.
Bonhard resolving 2 and do 2 net damage.
Let's see. It looks like you lost an overclock, and I missed the other card.
Yeah, I also missed it.
I will name 3 and.
So this is me naming
Accessing 2.
3 for RNG key, and I'm accessing 2 cards because it's HQ access. So it's an economic warfare.
And this is the first time?
Yep, just the first one.
And economic warfare does not cost 3, so I don't get RNG key triggers, and that's a market forces.
Market forces. Yep.
And me reading market forces because, yeah.
No, it's definitely a very solid card, but I feel like I haven't seen it very much.
Since playing this, I've seen it everywhere. Mostly these as lists.
Yeah, it's a good card.
And now with the prevalence of tagging in the new meta, it's going to be even. I feel like more. You're likely to see it a lot.
I think so. It just, like you said, more tag presence in the next meta, and then it's a reliable way to drain the runner's econ.
It's a black orchestra I drew and revealed.
Econ warfare for 2.
Here comes the econ warfare.
Mm-hmm.
When you see that, you know what the next card is that you're going to see. If it's not another econ warfare.
Hard hitting.
News.
Yeah, hard hitting news.
Boost to 6.
All right, so that's going to give you a nice set of tags.
Right, and it's interesting here because I have 5 credits. So, I can clear 2 of them. And in fact, actually, I think I can click. Yeah, click for a credit and clear 3 of them.
At the very least, a bunch of my cool tech is gone.
But
And
yeah,
that would put you out of the boom range at the very least.
it would, but then all of the directives, like safety first and those cards that I have installed, those are all resources. So if I have a tag, then Ben can click and pay 2 credits to trash one of them, or all 3 of them if he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Which is bad because it's where Adam is getting a lot of his advantage.
Yeah, so it's a tough spot.
I think there is an out for me, but I think it's kind of slim. I need to draw a specific card.
So there is a singleton copy of Misdirection in this deck, a card which recently rotated, which I'm thinking about how I can get that at this point. And I think if I do pursue it, and I can't remember if I did or not, I probably forgot that it costs 2 clicks to remove those tags.
It's handy. Of course, you used to see it a lot in Shaper just because you could have your SMC on the board and then pull it out. But it can be handy in other factions, but didn't see it very often.
I get to see it too.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was a, oh my gosh, what is it called? Creativity.
Yeah, Emergent Creativity.
Emergent Creativity. I drew into that card, which is a card that would allow me to go fetch the Misdirection, but it, of course, is a double. So I would have to spend 2 clicks to play the Emergent Creativity and then install the Misdirection, and then I'm 1 click short of using it. Which is probably what, if I... Yeah, I find the Misdirection. Okay, here we go.
Clicks 2 and 3.
Yeah, for 3 of them.
Yeah.
So at this point, then, though, he's been sitting on enough credits to trash all 3 of the directives, right?
Right.
That's a double.
Yes, it's a double.
Here's me realizing, yeah, Ben pointing out that isn't Emergent
Ooh.
Creativity a double? Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, that would have been great.
I forgot this was a double.
So at this point, then, from your perspective, do you just try to sit on the tags and
All right, well, I have it.
just
Great.
make some runs, or do you still want to prioritize clearing them?
I think at this point, they're there. If anything, I'm going to try and get some more money for next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And hope I don't get boomed. It's funny because I don't remember what I did here. So
Okay, we'll both find out then.
click for a credit. There we go.
All right.
I don't know what I'm holding in here. I see a Mad Dash, an Overclock.
Oh, draw a card.
Oh, and I draw. There we go. A Sure Gamble. Isn't that lucky? I can go click for a credit, Sure Gamble, and then click to remove the tags.
4.
Market Forces.
Forces coming down.
Yeah, okay.
And then clicks.
So this is just like it's the perfect example of how the Azmari deck just keeps the runner under its heel.
Oh yeah, between operations as well as the iSuite, which we haven't seen too much of yet. All of it is meant to just tax the runner, keep them poor.
DreamNet and is that Find the Truth? Yes, Find the Truth and DreamNet just got
so.
trashed.
And losing Find the Truth is unfortunate because you're able to use that in combination with RNG key when successfully running on R&D.
That's right, and I think almost more importantly than that, that's kind of incidental almost, because it really what it does is allows you to know when to go run R&D. Right, if you like run archives and see an agenda, then you know when to go spend your resources. If you run R&D first click or before something else, you'll get the resources off RNG key, but you might not get the agenda. So it's kind of a bad play pattern for Adam.
Gotcha. But ideally, you want to hit like you're saying HQ or archives, and then if R&D has something, go in.
Right.
All right.
That's at least as far as I understood it and how I wanted to play it. How did I end up with 4 credits again? Just click 4.
We'll trash bank card.
Then pushing the game forward with a single advancement and then trashing Bonhar and safety first.
So it was draw.
And now with the 2 advancement counters over in the remote, has me thinking it's probably a Bologna.
Draw a card for free.
Right. Yeah. Ben wants to be in the place where he can triple advance to score it, and Bologna pays you back for some reason. Bologna's busted.
Let's go. Click for a credit.
Yep.
Click for Sure Gamble.
Oh, the recording looks like it has the image selected, like it's showing the
yep,
pixels.
there we go.
Spend these 4 on these 4 tags.
Yep.
And wait for the next.
Bologna, another one of the infamous self-defending agendas.
Yeah, the last bastion of the real strong ones, in my opinion. Yeah. So and I see I've typed safety first up here. Yeah, so that was me finally getting out of tag hell. With,
It looks like, unfortunately, it was a couple turns spent. Your board state is drastically different from how it was.
just ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oof, like you have one directive remaining. Bonhar's gone, which is a main way for you to have gotten in for a while there.
Right. So the only directive that's remaining is neutralize all threats, which is still a very powerful one. Getting to access an additional card from HQ every time you run it is very strong.
Makes me wonder if maybe just floating the for a little bit might have been worth it. Try forcing Ben to spend some credits protecting whatever was sitting over in the remote. Well, if just to see what would get rezzed, or checking R&D.
Well, I'm still mostly afraid of Boom here. He had somehow not managed to find the Boom, but there's a Gaslight.
Mm-hmm.
Fetching him. Actually, I'm going to hide that so we see what he showed on the left there. Ben getting to search his deck, his R&D for an operation off of Gaslight, which was on the board, uncontested.
It looks like Ben's thinking about it. Looks like
there's another hard-hitting news. This is an Altart.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
I thought you were playing it.
Oh yeah, so just gonna put you right back in tag hell after you just got out of it.
Not ideal.
Yeah, right.
let's hide that. Not hard at work.
Shows that
Hard hitting.
much into the HSN meta.
Manfred.
So I was a little confused. If you could hear the desktop audio, I saw the hard hitting news on the table and said I didn't run last turn. And here's a seamless launch
Yeah.
in the Bologna.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
No. Definitely has a strong economic chokehold on the runner at this point. And I think at the very least, just having the hard hitting there in hand will be able to immediately tag you back, and then can still threaten Boom as well.
Another one of these.
Right. So I'm doing my best to get some money bankrolled here. So I have 2 daily casts installed at this point, trying to avoid that situation in the future.
I had a.
And is Ben at 3 points this game, or has it been 2 agendas?
That's 3 points, just the Bologna.
Okay.
And I've stolen the crypto crash in the early
Right.
game.
Okay, you're at 2.
Draw.
Okay, draw, draw,
Pass. And
Right.
Is it a
And not
multi-threader at this point? No,
I
draw
don't think
again.
you're triggering the ability right now, or at least I don't think you've played an event recently.
Mando draw.
Right. I've also forgot to show Ben the cards that I've been drawing for many things.
Roll on the new remote.
Well, at this point, you don't have to, because you don't have Find the Truth.
Oh, that's true. It's gone.
Mm-hmm. So you're actually able to have some secrecy. There's a Spin Doctor.
Install.
New card in the remote. We can only assume an agenda.
And then another piece of ice on R&D, making it even more difficult to get into right now.
Right. Honestly, I'm surprised that R&D was the server that Ben chose to safeguard here and not HQ with my additional HQ access. And my only breaker on the board at this point that I can afford to use, well, if I can find another Bonhar. Maybe Ben feels safe enough behind the Enigma since I don't have a breaker out.
I think alternatively, Ben might just not have any agendas sitting in hand, isn't worried about you being able to get in at this point.
Right. But I mean, all that can change. There's a 3rd daily cast.
All right, we're in the money.
We will be in a turn or 2.
flip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's the old school
Yeah.
full bleed art for daily casts as well.
Right, from the World Champ deck.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
I've got a bunch of those.
Look for credits. You. Draw a card, actually. Sorry. Oh, I don't need to show you.
You do not. Mando.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to
Tabletop.
show you that. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So Ben still has the one in the remote, so unadvanced at all. So I wondering if it's still an agenda at this point.
One more credit.
Just waiting for an opportunity to advance it without having to worry about you getting in.
Econ, if someone ran or no?
Successful run.
And you're asking about the successful run again, so boom's still on mine, I guess.
Well, I was worried about economic warfare.
A little less brutal.
Hmm.
It was successful like everything else. But
Yeah.
Oh, what's that card called that I'm holding? The criminal
Tapworm.
tapworm. Thank you.
where's the spin?
Okay, the spin doctor being rezzed. Trying to.
So no agenda in the remote this time.
Right. 2 spin doctors removed from the game.
And Ben's looking in archives. There we go. That's hedge fund and market forces.
Doing a lot of things. Are taking zero
And knowing that Ben already has the hard-hitting news in hand, if market forces comes back into play, that's definitely going to be a rough hit onto your economy again if you can't clear the tags. But you do at least have misdirection on board this time.
Right. Misdirection and some money. So I'm feeling more prepared for that at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But at the question is,
No, sorry.
can I get into this server as well and start stealing agendas before Ben can score out?
He did draw up from Spin Doctor, so there may be an agenda now in HQ.
Right.
No ice went down, but the deck itself is running only 12 pieces of ice. It's running very thin.
Sure. Multi-threader?
There's a multi-threader for some. I mean, this might be too late in this game at this point to be playing that, but for 1 credit, getting 2 recurring credits to use programs at this point, I'm trying to transition to
Emergent creativity.
getting breakers down.
Oh, not as much.
The two recurring can definitely help over many runs, especially since the Anarch bin breakers are infamously expensive.
Okay, so this is me attempting to navigate emergent creativity.
Okay, discard. Trash any number of programs or pieces of hardware. Okay, that might have to change the play. Does it work? It works.
Yeah, you were trying to use emergent creativity to look for.
There, so I'm trashing a program. I'm trashing a brain chip there.
Paperclip.
Finding a paperclip.
2.
2 and 3.
So you get a discount for brain chip, so it costs 3 to install.
And so it doesn't even have to go into the bin. It just comes right onto the board.
Yeah, I mean that emergent creativity is fetching to install at a discount based on what you've discarded. So yeah, it's not going into the bin, but there's a 1 of each of these, I think, in the deck. So when you need them, you gotta do it. And
Yep.
an overclock here for installing whichever of the other 2 breakers I might need out of the bin.
So you have no credits left in your pool, just the 5 sitting on overclock then.
Yeah, this is going to be tight if anything. And there, of course, is a toll booth. So
Oh, so that's just gonna stop you right there then.
yeah,
I think
it's 3 credits that I can pay from
off of.
there, and then
Also, that's code gate, right? So I could, let's see, what does this cost? Like, probably way too much.
I don't have enough money to even install it at this point. Off of
No,
the-
I think Black Orchestra is 3, so you're 1 shy of being able to
right.
at least install it.
And the multi-threader recurring credits are only for using programs, not for
Then I'm
installing.
running anyway. Yeah. So I installed the Black Orchestra.
Right. I use the 2 credits just there on overclock to install the Black Orchestra because I can afford. Wait a second. How did I do that? Where's my last credit come from? Did I just cheat?
Well, I'm thinking the encounter ability for ice triggers first, right? Or would the Black Orchestra trigger first?
Technically, I would have had the money to. It's whenever you encounter a code gate. Yeah, so technically, I would have had the money on the. I could have installed, anything I wanted there first, and then you lose it.
Okay, so you were still able to get it Black Orchestra onto the board, and then just the other 2 that were on overclock, since it wouldn't be enough to get through the toll booth, those went away.
They would get lost, right?
All right, it looks like that's a second Bologna that Ben scored.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not looking
So
good for me. He's 1 point away.
No. And then there is a 15 minutes in the deck, which is the NBN 2-1 agenda.
Right.
So if Ben's able to just top deck that, that's game.
Stall logic bomb.
Yep.
Run here. Use named event. This is worth me. Yes. Dirty laundry.
It's the Azmari credits.
Let's see. That is 3, 2.
So the logic bomb is
One real credit.
on the board now for the last click to hopefully get into something else.
Right, because these two. Break access 2.
RNG key.
RNG key. That's right.
Yeah, and you
Ben-
still have neutralize all threats on board, so you're still able to access an additional card.
4.
Right, and I named 4 on RNG key here because Ben reminded me I have it. I see an economic warfare. It's
Warfare.
There you go. Oh, right.
not, and I don't have the money to steal the Bologna.
Mm-mm. Oh,
And
not.
And now I have the money to steal the Bologna because I got it off of the dirty laundry.
it is
Yeah.
the first time. This is just the
But with that economic warfare in hand,
No, I think it's
whenever. Okay.
Yeah.
Last click will run back.
Okay.
We will run back
yo,
with an overclock.
Running back with an overclock
So you'll have
for my last
2
click.
credits left on it when you get through.
Because now I have enough money to steal the Bologna if I can find it again.
mhm.
Ultra with it.
You can't. This is a code gate.
Oh, you can only do it to
the-
whenever you encounter a sentry. Ah, I thought it was just a window
Anyway.
install. Yeah,
This is me realizing that I can't install the the MK Ultra
Okay,
with
so
the
you
overclock credits
spend 3 from
because it's not
for the break.
it's not a sentry.
Or for project bombs.
Yeah, which we haven't seen this game. The list that Ben has runs 3 turnpikes, but we haven't seen any on the board yet.
And I found it.
All right. So that puts you up to 5 points.
Right.
And then going back for another card.
Wouldn't it be sweet? But it's not. It's a hard hitting news.
So hard hitting news in hand, as well as economic warfare. Doesn't look like. And how many credits do you have? It looks like you have exactly 4.
Yeah, I have 4 credits.
Okay.
They're in the upper left of my mat there.
Sure.
And
Yep,
here,
there it
here
is.
they go. And a hard hitting news.
So I get 4.
Yep.
So I'm not pumping into that trace. So I get this.
So you have 4 credits on hand from the daily cast. 1 goes away. Ben has, it looks like, 2 cards in hand that you haven't accessed yet, but now is 3 deep on ice on R&D. So that might be tough to get through.
Econ warfare costs you 0.
Right. So I have the money to use misdirection here and clear the tags, but then I'm broke. I have a logic bomb to get in. I do have 2 recurring credits as well. I mean, I think at this
Oh,
point,
you're right. Off of the multi-threader.
right, the plan for me at this point, if I'm playing this game fresh, is to try and camp HQ and steal the 15 minutes before it can be scored, or maybe get lucky and get another crypto crash stolen and win the game.
True. Because you could check R&D for, what's the strength on Enigma? It's 2, right?
Enigma. It is strength 2. That's right.
Okay. So with Black Orchestra, you could get in for 3. So it costs you 1 from hand. You can access 2 cards just to be sure that Ben doesn't have anything in HQ. Alternatively, spend your turn trying to build up your economy and then run R&D last click, seeing if there is a top deck agenda that you'd be able to snag it first.
So
And seamless.
I just see both cards here. So it's a seamless launch and a hedge fund. So we know
Okay.
both cards in HQ.
Draw for 1.
And it looks like you did spend the credits to go ahead and clear the tags.
And there was draw a card, mandatory draw, install it, hedge fund. I'm not sure what the third click was.
This.
And all my
I missed that either as well.
my drip econ is right up.
Okay, so you got 2 credits. You still have the logic bomb, or was that spent?
The logic bomb is gone.
Okay.
Can use my current credits for this.
You cannot. That's for using programs.
For using programs. Okay. Yeah. And break for this. What is the break for this? I should figure that out.
See, I'm trying to think if there's a way you'd be able to get through the toll booth somehow, because you still need economy to get through just from its encounter ability.
Right. So there's the 3. It's a strength 5. And then Black Orchestra is strength
That would-
2.
Yep.
And it 3 credits gives you +2. So it's 6 to pump and break.
And
plus
3
it's
for the
9.
ability.
Yeah, it's 9 total.
Ugh, it's nasty. Yeah, it might. It looks like it's hard to get through, and it would be tough. But like seeing what might be on R&D.
Jailbreak here.
Oh, gains 2.
Jailbreaking R&D with, I guess, the only intention of getting Ben to spend some credits.
Mm-hmm.
Break it with.
Yeah, but at this point, there's a very large credit pool on the corp side. But let's see, run R&D. We see IP block.
Oh, because it starts at 1.
Oh, you know, so I mean, at this point, there's no way I know I'm not getting another remote, and I'm assuming that that's going to win the game. So I might as well just jailbreak R&D and see if I can just happen to get through. So we see 2 IP blocks.
Yeah, very cheap for corp to res.
Right, but so I'm just taking tags here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Am I?
Draw, run. So,
Let's see. It would cost.
No, I guess I just.
floundering here.
Because I think you have the boost paperclip, so it costs you 3 to get through each of those.
Right.
But I guess it's all I got, so I'm going to run there.
Right. So that shut me down, and I run here and see a turnpike.
Oh, yep. There's the sentry,
Okay. I'll take the other.
which you can go through at least.
And I take a tag. That's right.
So you'll succeed. You'll see an NGO front and an Enigma.
Oh, okay. This doesn't actually stop me.
No, just gives you another tag.
Yep.
Reading all of the ice,
Then Mecca.
really showing my experience. And Ben, I'm, sitting here going, well, do we see a seamless advance? What's going on?
Because we've gone through 2 spin doctors, so wondering if it could be the third sitting there in the remote,
Right.
or maybe a Rashida.
Well, the mandatory draw happened, so yeah, it's a spin doctor here,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of those situations where I did manage to get Ben to spend a fair amount of money resing ice there, and so that's good. But it's not enough to end the game, like to hold the game off from ending if he had it.
Put back in targeting and hedge fund.
Taking another hard hitting and a hedge fund back into the deck.
Mm-hmm. Good cards.
Yeah.
Oh, we can see another crypto crash in there.
In the shuffle deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like if you're able to get an economic, if you can get some credits. Oh, all right. So,
This signaling it's an agenda in that remote.
yeah, but still, with no econ on the board,
Credits.
doesn't seem like you'd be able to get through.
Dirty laundry. 2. Take the tag.
Just dirty laundering archives here for some money. Collecting tags.
And I think Ben missed his trigger there to get the 2 after naming event.
I can't even. Well, I could afford to break the toll booth.
See, you could break the toll booth. Alternatively, I missed what you had in your hand. but with 8 on or 7 on board, you could. Oh, there we go. There's the trigger for the event. You'd be able to get through the first 2 on R&D, I think, for 6, and then force Ben to res whatever that last piece of ice could be sitting on R&D.
Right.
With any luck, maybe it's something cheap like a ping.
Yeah, I mean, for a single access, right?
Oh, cool. Well,
Yeah, I was wondering if you had like another jailbreak or anything going on.
Right. So there's a ping.
And,
Okay.
Well, okay. No, yeah, I can afford to break it for 1.
Yep.
Cool. I'll take a tag.
12 boost.
6, and I can afford to pay that, and then
It looks like we're going for it.
dang, there we go.
And the ping
all the way through.
shuts me down, and that's it.
Down to a credit.
Yeah,
Oh,
if I
man.
had one more credit, I would have managed to
Oof.
steal that. Although maybe Ben.
Oh, no.
Yeah, another turnpike.
Okay. Oh yeah. So there's the turnpike.
If I could make you
So early on, if you weren't you could have floated some tags, gotten to R&D, but
it's 9, it's not 6. I had 6 in my hand.
6 to break,
Yes,
but the
it's
3
9.
hits no matter what.
Yeah, yeah.
ooh, that's rough. Missing
Yeah.
just the 1 credit to get into the room.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was, it was
Yeah.
an uphill battle for me with
3 or 4 turns.
with digging out from the hard hitting news and getting established with a misdirection.
Yeah, and then you got economic warfare twice, I think. So definitely put you in a very rough spot.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to do my best to get more of these published and get this tournament out there for posterity's sake. Thank you for joining me, Sonny. And I will have a link in the show notes to Sonny's channel where he is streaming games. When are you streaming? You're doing it regularly now, Sunday nights?
Yeah, I stream over on twitch.tv/Sunny_D20 and regularly doing Sunday Night Netrunner.
That's awesome. So if you are looking for some of that, go check out what Sonny's been doing. I've been actually watched a little bit today.
Oh, yay.
When you upload it to YouTube. Yeah, I enjoy it. You should keep going and everyone should go check it out. So thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll catch you next time.